guys. Thanks again for joining my channel today. So, what I'm going to touch on today is a model or a workflow that I have created for the Western Australia petroleum industry. So, I'm just going to talk you through this business process modeling notation here, or this BPMN, to sort of discuss how I built this model before I get into other episodes and sort of discuss findings of the analysis. So I basically worked to automate this workflow using Excel. So the first step here is extracting the data. So as you can see, I've got my extract here, and that's from a database, which is the Department of Energy, Mines, Industry Regulation and Safety here. And we've got all the different data here, and then you just download from this particular page here to retrieve that data. Um, so that's sort of the first step in building this model. And obviously here too, you've got different sort of data sets. So you've got wells, surveys, titles, fields, and you want to try and bring it all together into a spreadsheet for WA Petroleum raw data set. So what I'll do now is I'll just show you here what that looks like. So that's this workbook here, this Excel workbook that I'm about to bring up here. Okay, so this is the raw data here. That it just This is how it comes out based on government database. So we can see it's all sort of sitting here. Facility, seismic, wells, tidal status. Okay, so that's the first step there on the model. And then the second step down here, uh, as we move across here, we've got Power Query clean spreadsheet analysis. So this is the transform and load phase of the ETL process, which comes after the extract the data set. And the way this works is it's a Power Query model. The data is cleaned through Power Query that's connected to the raw data set. Okay, so if I go to, let's just say tidal status, for example, I'll bring this up. So tidal status for WA petroleum-based industry. As you can see here, I built out a dashboard here on Excel to be able to determine some findings of this particular market. Um, Up here, this is clean data. So this is the clean version of the other data set. And basically, I've cleaned all this out in Power Query. So it's automated now. So if I update a couple of the fields in the rows in my raw data set, which is the one that I had up before, which is this data set, this automatically cleans that data, and I just refresh the model, and the insights are there on the Excel dashboard, okay, for each spreadsheet. So I've got four different sort of spreadsheets there for four different spreadsheets there for seismic status, facility status, tidal status. Okay, that's a duplicate, I think. Yeah, so I've got three. So um, basically, I've got dashboards for each one there. So for each individual kind of finding. So if I want to look at tidal next, got another dashboard for that. Okay, so this is well status. So this is the well-based data, rig releases by year, 1922 to 2024. This is sort of the trend here. You can sort of see forecasted rig releases in the future years for this particular market for Western Australian Petroleum. And I can come down here and I can have a bit of a look at the companies, the drilling companies that have drilled the most amount of wells in Western Australia based history. So that's another sort of model there. Once again, the clean data sits here. When I update the original data set, that just gets updated automatically. So the last spreadsheet I'm going to sort of talk about here now is I'm going to talk about my Power Pivot amalgamated spreadsheet. So this is the last one in my workflow. Basically, it's built um, based around those 3 to 4 data sets. So if I go manage here, the data model under Power Pivot, wait for that to load. Okay, it should come up here. Okay, so we've got 4 different um, data sets here. And basically, the way this works is um, I've got different uh, many to one to many, many to many relationships or throughout these schemas here in Power Pivot. So these 4 data sets are all talking to one another here. And then I formulate a pivot table here to gather insights from all 4 of these different data sets. So I can get a lease title here, um, and I can look at the title status, so the current status of that lease title, who was the well operator there, what seismic company has shot seismic on that particular lease, and have a look at the facility status of that particular lease. Have they got any um, you know new infrastructure, and who's operating that particular lease. So if I look in the first bit here of my Power Pivot, I've got exposure of WA mining industry. So this is connected. I know I've got all my lease titles down here. I've got the basin, registered lease holder, or the operator, borehole operator, which might be a different company. Who was it drilled by? What year was that lease initially issued? In addition to, the type of rig, whether it's what status is, if it's active, pending a renewal, and then the type of title was an exploration permit, petroleum lease, a production license, etc. Then coming across here to seismic, I can come and have a look and go, okay, what's the 2D seismic shot in these particular locations on land, or onshore or offshore. And then looking at the lease status, is it active, pending renewal, pending extension? I can look at the seismic company here. I can have a look at when the seismic was last shot, which is quite sort of good to know, I guess, if you want to start a business in the mining industry, or become a player in the petroleum exploration market in WA. And over here next, we've got petroleum titles here, what's operational, what's suspended, who are the operators here. And then you can sort of have a look at the facilities, and then this just sort of goes to the wells overview. These are some of Santos's wells here, what year they started in, what basin. These are the lease numbers or codes here on the left. And then coming down here, we have start depth of drilling by title. So, these are all the titles here, different basins, different operators, and says who the borehole operator was in some instances. Then it talks about the start depth of the drilling there. What was the minimum depth that they started at for the drilling? And these were the deepest by that particular data set. So this is just a way here of getting some insights using business intelligence based tools. I'll do a little bit of a series here to cover what those insights were in a little bit more detail. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll look forward to catching you in the next video. Cheers, guys.